Hello, welcome back or welcome to the channel. Arsenal have beaten Liverpool 3-1 and we've now solidified our second spot position in the WSL, which means that we have automatic qualification to the Champions League phase, which is great news. And look, if you were to assess the season overall, you would say that it has been a disappointing season by our standards, not to win the WSL, to be knocked out of the Champions League, to be knocked out of the Cups has been really disappointing. And look, we're going to have to do better and be better next year. I think, when you look at the WSL, we were just way too slow at the beginning of the season. We weren't up to pace. We didn't look good in attack, really disjointed kind of, in the final third, I thought. And we just got way too many draws, and you can't afford that, particularly at the beginning of the season. Draws are just not good enough. Look, we'll be hoping to definitely strengthen in the summer and do a lot better next season. I just wanted to have a little chat about our Irish legend, Katie McCabe, who is sadly leaving us after 10 and a half to be exact. 10 and a half wonderful years at the club. No doubt her legacy is definitely cemented in the club's history, along with other Irish legends like Emma Byrne, legendary goalkeeper from the year 2000-2016, Ciara Grant, Yvonne Tracy, to name a few. They've all made history at the club, and no doubt Katie has followed in their footsteps. She's been integral for us. She's been a leader on and off the pitch. I don't know if you saw Kim's speech to her and in front of the team and the staff, where she said that Katie shouted on the pitch when Kim couldn't, and it just shows the kind of range of leadership roles that there are. Some are more quiet, they lead silently, and others are more vocal, and it doesn't mean they don't care as much. But I thought that was really lovely and really touching. I just wanted to go through a couple of her highlights. I mean, she's had such a huge and kind of successful career with us for so many years, but some of the highlights for me were when she took the mic when we won the Champions League during the celebrations, when she was on the bus. I thought that was so funny when she started singing. Iconic Katie McCabe moment. But if we look at the football, definitely I'd say that game against Manchester City in April 2023, when we were chasing the WSL and came from behind to beat them 2-1, is definitely an iconic moment for me, where she absolutely smashed a long range winner into the top corner, and that was a really title deciding game. And that goal actually later won the WSL goal of the season. Very well deserved. It was an absolute belter. Another one for me that stood out was the game against Birmingham City in 2019, a little while back, feels like ages ago now. But that was a really important goal as well, in us winning the WSL that season. And that kept us on top of the table as well. That goal by 1 point until we eventually won it that season. And I think for me, this is more of an iconic kind of technical goal, just showing her kind of technical skill, was her volley against Liverpool in the FA Cup in 2022. That was an absolute belter, an absolute beauty of a shot. Yeah, I mean, how versatile is she? She just is unbelievable. If we go back to our game against Everton, where a couple of the players were announced to be leaving, Beth Mead, Palova, Lyakadina, you could see at the end of the game how upset Katie was. And we know what we know now, but obviously she knew that was her last home game for the club. A lot of the fans had question marks around it, just judging by how kind of upset she was. I thought it was really kind of poor by the club not to give her that honour and celebrate her in that way. Renee later came out and said that the club would honour her in the best way they could. And so she went out and wore the armband and led us out to the pitch against Liverpool at the weekend. I thought she had a brilliant game, in typical fashion. I was really delighted to see her just go for it and try to score. I thought she had a brilliant game. She paired up really well with Caitlin Ford down the left-hand side. And I love that she was just going for it and just like shooting and trying to score whenever she could. It was really, really lovely to see as well. I don't know if you caught a glimpse of the the fans, but they were all kitted out in their Irish colours. I thought that was really lovely. They had the hats and flags and scarves and everything. That was really, really touching and really lovely to see. And, you know, to hear her chant as well all through the game was really lovely and very well deserved. And yeah, no, look, she'll be missed, no doubt. You know, she's been such an important player for us, and we'll definitely have to keep an eye on her wherever she goes next, because she'll be a real threat. But no, all that we can say is, you know, thanks to McCabe, and she's been an absolute legend for the club, and she'll definitely go down as one of the greats in the club's history. But no, look, if we look at the game overall, as I said, I thought we played really, really well in the first half, particularly down the two wings. I thought our combination play was really, really good between Emily Fox and Beth Mead on the right hand side, and McCabe and Caitlin Ford on the left. I thought, you know, if you think back to Arsene Wenger's greatest teams in the past, a lot of it was one-touch football, and that was what we were doing in the first half. That was really, really easy on the eye and really nice to watch. Yeah, I thought our first half was brilliant. Russo with the 2 goals. I think there was a question mark with the first goal. It looked like Stina might have got a touch to it, but I think the goal was given to Russo. I thought they both had brilliant games. They looked like they were full of energy, and they looked really motivated to score. Mariona Caldente with an absolute belter in the 32nd minute from a really tight angle. That was a class goal. She's been brilliant for us this season. And yeah, look, she popped up with the goal. Fair play to her. Yeah, look, the first half, as I said, I thought we were really, really good. Liverpool looked quite poor. They didn't really know what to do with us. We looked really sharp in attack, and their defence really struggled. Their goalkeeper had a lot of saves to make. I think Caitlin Ford should have scored. There was a moment early on in the first half where she was straight through and she hit it straight at the keeper rather than just going either side of the keeper to get that goal. But no, that was unfortunate. If we look then at the second half, I thought we came out and we we definitely took our foot off the gas. We weren't as intense and just kind of stood back a bit, and that kind of allowed Liverpool to get into the game, and they definitely looked more of a threat in the wide areas, and we saw them get that goal. That was well worked. And yeah, no, look, I think, you know, although we did stand back, we kind of in our own way tried to control the game a wee bit. And, you know, I know last game of the season energy levels aren't going to be, you know, amazing, but I thought we definitely gave our all in the first half, and we had a nice 3-goal cushion there to kind of soften that blow. But look, I think, you know, all we can say is we did what we had to do. Fair play to the girls now to finish second. But yeah, look, I think by our standards it's definitely been a poor season, and we'll be looking to do a lot better next season. I will be looking ahead and looking at doing probably a video just on the season overall, I think, and where we've slipped up. And then following that, I'll probably do another one on players that are leaving and players that we're linked with, and just what we need going forward to be successful next season. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the game. You know, maybe you have other Katie McCabe highlights that you'd like to mention in the comments, so please do. And yeah, I really appreciate the love and support. Thank you so much. Bye.